Megasporogenesis. Before learning the definition for megasporogenesis, we'll see what is a megasporangium. A megasporangium means ovule. As you know, the female reproductive part, they are called as pistil, or we can call them as carpel. And the pistil is divided into the different parts like stigma, style, and the ovary. The ovary has got ovules present inside, and these ovules are attached to the tissue of ovary by means of funicle. Funicle is a stalk with which the ovules are attached to the tissues of ovary. The tissue of the ovary to which these are attached. This tissue, the part of the ovary to which the ovules are attached, that is called as placenta. Just like a human uterus have got placental connections, like that ovary has got the tissue to which the ovules are attached by means of the stalk. That stalk is called as funicle. And these ovules later on, after the fertilization, they will become the seeds. So the ovule is also called as megasporangium. Now coming to the term, what is megasporogenesis? Megasporogenesis means the process of formation, of megaspore, because genesis means either generation or formation. So process of formation of megaspores from megaspore mother cell, from megaspore mother cell. So that is called as megasporogenesis. Now we'll see how we can explain this process called megasporogenesis. So we'll come to the ovule, that is megasporangium structure. Now this is an ovule that I have enlarged and drawn here. The ovule has got tissues within, and the tissues are called as nucellus. So this is an ovule. The ovule has got their own protective coverings called integuments. Except an area, the integuments surround the ovules. The part of the ovule where integuments are not closing is called as micropyle. So the nucellus here, the tissue which is diploid, the nucellus is rich in food materials. Now during the maturation of ovule, some of the cells of nucellus will differentiate to form megaspore mother cell. All mother cells are also diploid because it is one of the cells of nucellus. So it is megaspore mother cell. The megaspore mother cell then undergoes meiosis. So when they undergo meiosis, meiosis is the reduction division. When they undergo meiosis, One megaspore mother cell will divide into four megaspores. One, two, three, four. Each containing nucleus with materials that are haploid. So we get here after the meiosis, the megaspore mother cell will form four megaspores. So they are now megaspores. Each of the megaspores will be haploid because they are the result of the meiosis. Thus now they will not be called as mother cell because mother cell has already got divided. So I'm wrapping it up. Now what happens to these four megaspores? Only one megaspore remains functional. The other three megaspores will degenerate. Other three megaspores will degenerate and only one megaspore remains functional. That functional megaspore. So now in this case, this one I have made it as functional. There will be only one functional megaspore. This functional megaspore will develop further to form the embryo sac. They will develop to form the embryo sac. Now we have already seen the megasporogenesis process. Megasporogenesis means the process of formation of megaspores from megaspore mother cell. So megaspores are already formed here, so megasporogenesis is over. Out of the four megaspores, only one megaspore remains functional. So that's why there is a term used for it. Since only one megaspore remains functional, this kind of development is also called monosporic development. Monosporic. Monospore means one megaspore. Monosporic development. The functional megaspore becomes an embryo sac, whereby the nucleus which is present in this megaspore will divide mitotically. It is a free nuclear division. Initially, it will be a free nuclear division. Free nuclear division means the nucleus will mitotically divide without immediate formation of cell wall. So the one nucleus will become two nucleate will become four nucleate, four nucleate condition becomes eight nuclei. So there will be eight nuclei inside one embryo sac. Now since one of the cells of the in the nucellus near the micropyle area, it is near the micropyle area, this area, here only one megaspore is formed. So we can call this end as micropylar end. Now the cells which are formed or the nuclei which are formed is in such a way, there will be three nuclei formed at the micropylar end, three nuclei formed at the chalazal end, two nuclei formed at the center. So this is the micropylar end of the ovule, and this is the chalazal part of the ovule, chalazal end. Now the cell walls will start to get laid up in such a way that there would be three cells at the micropylar end, three cells at the chalazal end, and one cell at the center. This one cell has got two nuclei present. Now we'll name these cells. The three cells formed at the micropylar end, these three cells are called as egg apparatus. They are called as egg apparatus. It's called as egg apparatus because the center part or the central cell is the egg cell. It is the egg cell. This is the egg. The other two cells on the sides of the egg, they are called as synergids. So these two cells are called as synergids. The synergids have got some thickenings. They have got some thickenings. These thickenings are called as filiform apparatus. The filiform apparatus will guide the pollen tube towards the synergids. That is the function of filiform apparatus. So they form the egg apparatus. So egg apparatus is made up of three cells. One is the egg cell, then two synergids on either sides. Synergids are provided with filiform apparatus. So all these three cells are together called as egg apparatus, and it is found in the micropyla end. Now coming to the chalazal end of the ovule, there we have seen here three cells. These three cells formed at the chalazal end of ovule is called antipodal cells. Now the central cell, which is found in the center of embryo sac. The central cell has got two nuclei. These two nuclei are called polar nuclei. So since the embryo sac is the developed megaspore and megaspore is haploid, so embryo sac will also be haploid and every cell in the embryo sac will also be haploid. So this is what is megasporogenesis. Megasporogenesis means the process of formation of megaspore from megaspore mother cell. So in the ovule, the tissue which is supplied with food is called nucellus. One of the cells of the nucellus, when the ovule gets mature, especially the cell near the micropyla end, they differentiate to form the megaspore mother cell. The megaspore mother cell will divide meiotically to form four megaspores. But out of the four megaspores, four haploid megaspores, only one will survive, the other three will degenerate. So this functional megaspore will further develop to form the embryo sac. So since the embryo sac is formed from the one functional megaspore, it's also called as monosporic development. Now, how the differentiation takes place in the embryo sac. The nucleus which is present in the embryo sac will divide mitotically to form first a 2 nuclear stage and then 4 nucleate stage and finally 8 nucleate stage. And they are arranged in such a way 3 nuclei will be present near the micropylar end of the ovule and 3 nuclei present at the chalazal end of the ovule. 2 nuclei present at the center. Later, the cell walls will surround nuclei in such a way that there will be 3 cells present at the micropyla end, that is called as egg apparatus. And the egg apparatus consists of egg and 2 synergids with filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus guides pollen tube towards the synergids. The central cell has got 2 polar nuclei and the antipodal cells are present near the chalazal end. So an embryo sac contains 8 nuclei and 7 cells.